Title: I regret my infidelity, please don't end our marriage. I hear the door creak open at 4 a.m., accompanied by quiet sobs. My wife sits beside me and confesses that she had been with another man that night. She is weeping, apologizing, and filled with regret, saying she made a terrible mistake. Her only explanation was that she felt the thrill of a first date again, and this man reminded her of me when we first met. Hi everybody! I'm leading a goal of 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I truly believe we can achieve it together. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it would really mean a lot to me. Now, let's dive into the story. The remorse is what truly breaks me. So here is my rant, which I need to get off my chest. My wife, who is 30, and I, 33, have been together for 8 years and married for 5. D-Day was 2 weeks ago. A bit of background to clarify, we met through the punk music scene, which was a big part of our lives. Over time, I lost interest in going to shows and concerts, but my wife still loved attending them. 2 weeks ago, there was a concert she wanted to attend. I, as usual, opted out, so she went with some of our friends. I wished her a great time as always. Later that night, I received a Snapchat from one of our friends at the concert, showing another friend acting strangely at the bar with the caption WTF. Confused about why they sent it to me, I watched as the camera panned over to my wife, chatting with a guy, clearly enjoying each other's company. Nothing physical, just very close and flirtatious conversation. I texted them asking what was happening, but got no response. I started messaging my wife, but she didn't reply either. Despite my growing anxiety, I tried to reassure myself everything was fine and tried to sleep. But it wasn't okay. I couldn't sleep, and every time I drifted off, I woke up with a knot in my stomach, checking my phone for messages that never came. The gut feeling was there when I heard the door open at 4 a.m., along with soft sobs. Lying in bed, my heart was racing. She sat beside me as I pretended to be asleep. She gently shook me and said we needed to talk. She confessed to sleeping with another man that night. In that moment, my world crumbled. I felt my blood boil as if needles were piercing my skin all over. I sat there in shock, my heart shattered. When she reached for my hand, I pulled away. She continued to cry and apologize, saying she regretted everything and felt deeply remorseful. I wanted her to see how much she had hurt me. I asked for details, and she explained they had met at the show, hit it off, and that she got lost in the moment, feeling like it was our first date all over again. I asked about our friends, and she said they tried to intervene, but she lied, claiming he was an old friend. She left the concert with him and went to his place where they had sex. Afterward, she said she fell asleep, but woke up feeling horrified at what she had done, crying the whole way home in the cab. I questioned her, asking how she could do this and why. Her only explanation was that she got those first date feelings again, and he reminded her of how we were when we first met. We had a wonderful marriage full of love, communication, and understanding. There were no issues in our relationship. This was a massive mistake on her part. I know she regrets it deeply and feels remorseful, which is the most painful part. I could understand if I had failed as a husband, but everything seemed fine. She has been very transparent since it happened, taking a lot of criticism from friends and family. I can see the regret on her face every day. She wishes she could take it all back and wants to reconcile. Yesterday, I woke up feeling good, probably from a nice dream, and thought of all the good we had and how we shouldn't let this destroy our marriage. I even felt a little hopeful and went to tell her I wanted to work on our relationship. But the moment I saw her, it all disappeared. I've decided to file for divorce. Sorry for the long post, I just needed to get this out somewhere instead of shouting it into a pillow. I cut down on some details because it was getting too long, but feel free to ask any questions. Edit: Wow, this is getting more attention than I expected. Thank you all for your support. To those who say I'm rushing into divorce since it's only been 2 weeks. I hear you. I'm not heading to a lawyer immediately, I just wanted to express where my mind is at right now. We will be separating first, but I've made it clear to her that I intend to divorce. Time apart may help me, but I doubt it. Thinking about our future together, I can't see myself dealing with the emotional baggage and triggers. I think starting fresh is the best path for me. Salute, salute, salute to everyone. Let me share my thoughts. I was worried at first, thinking he might forgive her and she'd repeat her mistakes, but he said, "Nope, I'm going to get a divorce," and I respect that. She didn't feel remorse while flirting or cheating or going to his place or even while she was with him. She only felt remorse afterward during the cab ride home. Sure, we can acknowledge that she confessed instead of keeping it a secret, but I don't buy the whole "I felt bad afterward" narrative. If she truly regretted it, she wouldn't have done it in the first place. He's making the right choice by choosing separation and then divorce. I find it odd that her friends let her leave with a stranger who she claimed was a friend. No real friend would do that. Anyway, he has an update, so let's check it out, but first, let's look at these comments. Someone wrote that if he can't trust her again, he should file for divorce. Listen to your instincts, don't keep your feelings bottled up. Get your anger out, whether by hitting a punching bag at the gym or chopping wood. She knew what she was doing when she pushed past two friends to pursue something extra. She confessed to get ahead of them, knowing they would tell him if she didn't. Even if she feels bad now, it was a conscious choice. If I were in his shoes, I'd file for divorce. I've experienced cheating before and stayed, it ate me up inside. I'd never tolerate it again. He replied, saying he thinks he could trust her again, but the damage is already done. He's keeping himself busy and believes she knew what she was doing but got lost in that familiar feeling she once had with him. Don't believe that. This guy made her feel like it was when they first dated, don't buy it. Yes, she confessed, but it wasn't to beat her friends to it. When he spoke to them, they said they saw no actual physical cheating, just a flirtatious conversation that felt weird, so they decided not to get involved. They felt they'd already done enough that night. Someone said cheating is like a broken vase, you can fix it, but the cracks always show, and all he sees now are cracks. Her friends letting her leave with someone she claimed to know is unacceptable. Trusting her again would be a big mistake. I think she planned it from the start, knowing how it would end. She knew what she wanted, and this wasn't just a mere accident. Her behavior suggests it wasn't the first time. He should get tested for STDs and reevaluate his entire relationship history. Good luck to him. Another commenter shared their experience, saying their ex had both emotional and physical affairs. One of them started harassing them during pregnancy, which almost led to premature labor. He cheated while they were expecting their fourth child and never stayed faithful. This woman needs to be held accountable. Couples therapy might help, but individual therapy is essential to understand what she was missing in the marriage that made her act this way and how deeply this betrayal has impacted him. He responded that, as absurd as it sounds, the concert brought it all up. In his original post, he mentioned that he had grown out of the music scene while she hadn't. Crowds and logistics bothered him, but concerts were something they enjoyed together, and that part of him changed. Her only explanation was that she felt like she did when they first started dating 8 years ago. Wow. As he mentioned, there's an update, let's see what's next. Update: the remorse is what hurts the most. After D-Day in early March, his wife had a one-night stand and confessed that night. He was initially set on divorce but got busy working on himself. By early April, she moved out, and it felt like a curse had been lifted. The month she stayed was brutal. Seeing her every day, being reminded of what she did, left him depressed and moody. But now, with her gone, he's no longer dreading coming home or waking up. He has energy again and feels more at peace. She moved in with her mom while looking for an apartment or waiting for him to take her back, which won't happen. Most of their friends have been supportive, but only a few still talk to her. He ran into one of her friends, who said she's not doing well, depressed, struggling at work, etc. He doesn't wish her any harm but admits he felt a small bit of satisfaction hearing it. When asked why she did it, she gave the same reason, wanting to be selfish and single for a night, something she now deeply regrets. He decided against therapy because once she left, he started feeling better. She suggested couples therapy, but he turned it down, recommending she seek therapy on her own. Many have asked why he's so willing to end their marriage. He knows some people can move past infidelity, but he can't. Staying with her would hollow him out over time, which is not something he wants. He would rather start fresh. Yes, he misses her, but he misses the person she was before she cheated, not who she is now. This may seem like a lot of rambling, but he's trying to cover the main points without making it too long. Overall, he is doing well, working on making himself happy again. He chose to survive this infidelity alone. Thank you all. Let's check out the comments here. Someone highlighted what he said about people asking why he's giving up on his marriage. She wanted to be selfish and single for a night. Her friends supposedly tried to stop her from cheating. He texted her, and she ignored it. Deep down, she probably thought he would forgive her one act of selfishness, but it involved multiple deliberate actions. Meeting the guy, flirting, getting physical, arguing with her friends, ignoring his texts, and eventually having sex. The worst part was ignoring his texts. His wife had never stayed out until 4 a.m., and she ignored him, which was like her saying, "I want this guy, and your feelings don't matter." Cheaters can be wonderful people, kind to strangers, loving to family and friends, intelligent, witty, but they are liars and cheaters. All those qualities mean nothing if they can't offer honesty and faithfulness. If they can't keep you safe in those areas, the rest doesn't matter. Someone else said that they prefer the truth over lies. The truth doesn't destroy, it builds and changes. It may hurt, but it helps you become a better person in the end. This revelation of her character has clarified what kind of person he wants to be. Another commenter said, "Good for you, man. I hope I'll feel the same when I finally get my soon-to-be ex-wife to move to her new apartment. She's so depressed she can't even get her stuff out." Another person suggested using his packing skills to get her out as soon as possible. The longer she stays, the more she'll drag it out. Someone else shared their story of a cheating husband who had a 4-month affair and possibly more. They knew they couldn't get over it, even for the kids. Staying would have destroyed a part of them, turning them into an empty shell. They might have considered giving it a shot, but they couldn't do it. He's determined to move on and not let this break him. Thank you all for your comments and thoughts. I'll include the link to this in the description as usual. Wow, he has moved on because he couldn't bear the pain anymore. Even though he could trust her again and still loved her, he couldn't shake off what she did. Every concert, he'd wonder what she was doing and would want to monitor her. Who wants to live like that? So let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.